And hello, this is John Keller from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. If you are joining us live for the Google Plus Hangout on Air, we are here with the RECON project, the Research and Education Cooperative Occultation Network, which is a community group effort of citizen scientists stretching from high schools in Tonopah, Nevada, up to Tule Lake, California, to study the objects in the Kuiper Belt out beyond Neptune. We're going to do some quick introductions, but our broadcast is going to be very short due to some technical difficulties on the mountain. But I wanted Charlie and David to introduce themselves. How about David?
Hello, my name is David Schultz, and I am a teacher at Surprise Valley High School in Cedarville, California, and we're the station south of Tule Lake. So we enjoy having our RECON telescope, and that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, David. How about Charlie?
Hi, I'm Charlie Aerosmith. I actually am not a high school teacher. I teach at Feather River College in Quincy, California, but the high school has quite a few participants, and we in fact have 3 locations in Plumas County, which is up here in northeastern California, that are all quite actively involved, just not today. And it's been a great project, and I'm really excited about what they're learning down at Kitt Peak, and that's why I'm here to learn some more about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our last group is in the middle bottom picture, and that is Marc Buie, who is just in green, and he is showing you a picture or an image of the control room at the Kitt Peak 4-meter Mayal telescope, where teacher Jim Bean and students Lake, Shank, and also Shelby Brown, as well as mentor Red Sumner. I think Red's there somewhere. Hello, Red. Where Shelby, Lake, Jim, and Red. Oh, look, the lights are on. That's great. Where Shelby, Lake, Jim, and Red are joining Marc to do a 3-day observing run up at Kitt Peak National Observatory outside of Tucson, Arizona. Unfortunately, they cannot speak to us because of some sound issues at the observatory, but by signs of hand motions or smiles or whatever, how are things going at Kitt Peak? I think those are signs of enthusiasm. And a thumb up from Marc Buie. So unfortunately, we are not going to be able to actually broadcast visually or virtually, with sound from the observatory as we'd hoped. We will probably be signing off until we've worked out technical issues, and we may try again later on. But if you're just joining us, and maybe you aren't, but if you are just joining us, again, RECON is a project by which we are hoping to measure the outer solar system. What we're using is the shadows of Kuiper objects as they pass in front of stars. We have a telescope network that stretches across the western United States. As the shadow passes in front of the star, we can measure the sizes of objects out beyond Neptune. What Marc and Shelby and Lake and Jim and Red are working on right now is they're spending 3 nights up at the observatory measuring precisely the position of about 100 Kuiper objects that we hope to target in future occultation events. So one of the big issues with doing Kuiper belt observations is that the uncertainty of where the object is and the uncertainty of where the star is increases the uncertainties of where we know the shadow will be that we hope to observe with our telescopes. By getting more precise measurements of the positions of the Kuiper objects, that's what Marc and the students are doing right now up at Kitt Peak. They're going to have more precise trajectories of where the orbits of these 100 KBOs are, which increases the probabilities that when we're doing our observing campaigns, we'll know where the events are that we're trying to observe. Questions from the field or from Charlie or from David about that process?
No questions, but maybe this isn't the forum for it. Do we have another event coming up?
Yeah, there's a great forum for this. So the next event that we're planning to do is actually on July 14th. There were 4 events we could have done during the months of June and early July, but 2 of them happened at 3:30 in the morning, so they were suboptimal. And the other 2 happened with large gibbous moons, roughly 7 to 12 degrees away, with very, very faint magnitude drops. And so although the paths of those Kuiper belt objects were very good for the network, the moon is going to be prohibitive of being able to actually measure the sizes of the to record the objects. So the next good event is on July 14th. It's actually a perfect event. It passes straight through the network, and every telescope is within 1 sigma uncertainty of where the shadow is supposed to be. The name of that, do you remember the name of that, Charlie? I sent it in an email.
Yes, I know. I'm already signed up for it.
Yes, I can find it in a second. But again, because we don't have the full network yet, and we're right now targeting asteroids, we're not targeting KBOs. This is basically an asteroid occultation that we're measuring. And the name of that event is, give me a second. It is going to be called Gonnessia, Gonnennessia, on July 14th.
The bell has rung, and I'm going to split out of here. So thank you for arranging.
Thanks for joining us, David. Take care. So good to see you, Mark. I guess unless we have any other questions, I think that we have one viewer. So whoever you are, if you have a question for us, let us know. Mark's going to disconnect and try to restart this session. So we'll be losing Mark in a second, and then we will keep the Hangout going. Yep, and we will see if they can get joined by Mark and the students. This is also our first Google Hangout on air, so we are learning things as we go. And we will find out. Oh, it's Dave Schultz who's watching us. Dave Schultz was watching us. We were being watched by Dave. That's awesome. So, Charlie.
Yes.
Good to see you.
We're still live.
We're still live. I won't ask any any questions.
Well, I did. Speaking of the upcoming occultation, it was on low magnitude where it was first. I actually signed up for it a long time ago, and Plumas County was dead in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
But IOTA has updated it, and now it's south of us.
So which one was this?
The one that's coming up in July.
Oh,
Greenville was right dead center before the update yesterday on Occult Watcher. So now it's south of us. We're still within the 1 sigma.
Cool. Yeah, so when we looked for this, it wasn't clear, it wasn't from the IOTA feed yet. And so we were wondering what the better uncertainty tracks would look like. So I actually didn't realize that they had just uploaded it. Let's see what it does. Oh, so it's further south again, just like last time. Interesting.
Here comes Marc back.
We have a there's a Marc.
We should probably say something so he knows that we're here.
Yes. So this is the track of Gonnessia now. Which actually does move, yeah, it moves it all significantly south. So I'll have to take a look at that. So for all of those of you who are watching us, who are not many people, we Mark's not able to get his audio back in a second, we'll probably log off and try this again at a different time. And the chat message from so Mark can see us and can hear, he can see you, but we can't hear me. Yep. So Mark is not going to be able to hear us or join us from Kitt Peak, but we will work something else out. And thanks again for joining us, Charlie. You should not log off, but we'll stop broadcasting, and we'll talk more in a second. So thanks again for joining us. RECON is an exciting project to measure the outer solar system. If you're interested in learning more, you can go to tnorecon.net. That stands for Transnet Tuning Object recon.net. The website for that site is right here. So this is the TNO Recon website at tnorecon.net. We will be getting a live blog feed will be coming from Shelby and Lake up at the observatory where they're helping with the observing runs. And they will continue to provide some information and updates about what's happening at Kitt Peak over the course of the week. These are pictures of them taking off on Monday. That's the mount. This is the mount for the 4-meter telescope. The 4-meter telescope's inside of that, inside of the mount in that picture. And here's Jim, Shelby, and Lake at the observatory, and Red and Mark training and getting ready for the observing sessions. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll talk more when we do this again. Bye-bye. And I'm just going to stop broadcasting.